What's happening, y'all? Wake Up Barstool Monday, and the Final Four is set. It's one of the greatest buzzer beaters that we have ever seen. We got UCLA head coach Mick Cronin stopping by to talk some hoops. We got a ton to get to today. ABS, Tiger back in the news, and it all starts now on FS1.
Tiger back in the news.
What's happening, guys? Glad to be back. So excited for today's show. Been at Disney for a week, but there's nowhere I'd rather be than sitting next to my guy, Brandon Walker. We got Dave Portnoy here, his Michigan Wolverines in the Final Four, the Frozen Four. They're all over the place. And we got Meekville and Liam Blubman behind the glass. Brandon, I know you missed me. Dave, what's up? How we doing today?
Absolutely a stunning game, that Duke. I will say, I don't want to Disney. Being at Disney for an entire week is a lot. I'll say that. But you preface it, was it the greatest shot, buzzer beater in the history of the tournament? Unequivocally, yes, to me. That's the best ending I think we've ever seen. An absolute stunner. I mean, what can you say about that game? What can you say about that game? And you know, I hate Duke. I've said I hate Duke, and we talked about this program. Is Duke still hateable? And we talked about Shire, and when they lost in North Carolina, he made up that they got beat up. And Duke is Duke, and they come off that Krzyzewski tree. They're insufferable. You hate the uniform. You know, even me watching Boozer in the locker room talk about how he cost his brother the game, and he was answering the question. I think he had blood on his shirt because he punched glass and cut his knuckles or something. Even I had, for maybe a tenth of a second, some sympathy for Duke. But then I thought, you know, when you decide to go to that school, that is the social contract that you are signing. The good, the bad, the ugly. You're going to be the center of attention. Everyone's going to watch you. More people are going to hate you than love you. It is that program in college basketball that evokes that emotion. And when this happens, 2 years in a row, by the way, but for some reason, I know the score was preposterous in the Houston game, but as I'm sitting here, like, not one moment jumps out to me from that Houston game, where this has that iconic lead package of the NCAA moment forever. I mean, it was something. It's what makes sports great. Everybody exploding. This game was over. You know, you can't pass the ball there. It's just so stupid, because if you just hold on to it, you're going to get fouled. There's only 10 seconds in the game. You can't get really a 10-second violation. And by the way, Shire on the replay is pointing to pass the ball down there. Just an amazing ending that, you know, is only available in this tournament, it seems.
Yeah, it was phenomenal. I think it's the greatest swish of all time. I think Braylon Mullins, when he gets the ball,
like
then
that.
UConn kind of kept their head, and he got the ball to one guy and he got it back. And when he shoots it, you're all wondering, oh, is this actually going to happen? And the swish is so loud and so defiant and so, oh my God, this just happened. He just hit everything I was going to hit, including Shire. I don't know how many angles you've watched, Dave. I think I'm safely at 250 angles right now.
Yeah.
I've watched every single way you can watch it. I've watched it from the band. I've watched it from the blimp cam. I've watched it from everywhere. And Shire he's pointing. He's literally saying, throw it down there.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that can get you beat if you throw it down there. Now, obviously, if he lobs it or if he does something, you know, if he just gets it down there, they win the game.
I mean,
easily.
it was an all-in last line of defense from UConn there.
Correct.
Like, there was nobody
idiotic.
back there. You completed.
But if he doesn't, if he doesn't move,
idiotic.
If he doesn't move, they win the game. If he just does this, they win the game. If he does so many things.
And I think if you're a UConn fan, you were kind of thinking, oh, they're taking too long. Like they let him pass a little bit, and it almost seemed like it was over. Now, in hindsight, the right move, you press in they're college kids and you make the mistake. But the bottom line, I think there was 10 seconds left in the game, 10 point something when they inbounded the pass, right?
It was 10 exactly.
Yeah, so you don't have to move. You literally can just sit there, hug the basketball. You don't have to make one pass, and at worst, they're going to follow you. You're going to go to the line. You're up 2 because they missed. So it's a colossal breakdown all the way, and there's just something so beautiful and so magical and so tasty about Duke choking like this. They are they're a soft, gutless basketball program right now. There's no other way to describe it. 2 years in a row with all this talent to be bounced out of the tournament in a horrific, gruesome. If you're a Duke fan, you cannot get out of bed for a month. And that's what makes sports so great. And then on the other, and here's the bear here. This is unbelievable. 19-point lead to UConn. Commit T.O. final seconds, lose 35-foot three-pointer. I don't even remember that 35-point three-pointer. I only remember this. Or is this?
That's the one he hit.
This is the one. This is that's this. Yeah.
I got confused. I thought he was saying that all the Houston game. Come on, Bear, be a little more, organize his tweet a little bit better.
Tweet's fine.
It is so spectacular to see this program fail. And then on the other side, UConn. What do you say about them? They're the exact opposite of what Duke has become. I had a tweet that UConn fans pulled up, and it was from, I'll pull it up. It doesn't look like our crack staff, but it was from 2016. The thing I love about UConn is you got to kill them 100 times in March before they die once. And there's never, ever been anything more true about the UConn Huskies. They have those Tom Izzo shirts, and Tom Izzo, of course, one of the great frauds of our generation, where it says January, February, Izzo. Those T-shirts that say January, February, UConn. That's what it is. Like UConn, my God, forget Duke, forget Kentucky, forget Indiana, forget Villanova, forget all these blue buds. It's UConn and everybody else. It is UConn and everybody else. And I have a team in this Final Four, and it's gonna. I'm an honest person, so this game against Arizona is going to be an absolute war. To me, that is the true national championship game, except if UConn gets by Illinois, which they probably will somehow. I will have cold sweats thinking about the UConn Huskies, because there's just something about this team in March that they don't die. They just do not die. And last night showed it.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm equally shocked that our crack staff didn't have the tweet pulled up from 10 years ago. Like they were supposed to read your mind.
And then they got it up immediately. And then they got it up immediately.
Supposed to read your mind.
Walker. It was at the forefront of my Twitter account yesterday.
Supposed to read your mind. If that didn't happen yesterday, if UConn hadn't beaten Duke, I think we would have started this show talking about this tournament. The story of it is how good Arizona and Michigan have been.
Yeah.
Arizona and Michigan have been the two best teams by far. And Michigan, what was it, 17-16 yesterday, and then you snap your finger, it's 35-16. Like they're just
run.
They have a firing squad where they just will put the team on the firing squad, and just there's nothing you can do. Tennessee was in jail. Arizona does the same things to teams, and he's right. This kind of is the national championship game. But he's also right in the fact that UConn on the other side kind of throws that up into a whirlwind, because UConn is that team that you can't discount them, even if the other two teams are better.
No, and a single game sample size, especially after that comeback. I mean, what's the stat that everybody keeps banning about? Teams were 135-0,
115-0, number one seeds when they're up 15 points at halftime. But that's Duke. I mean, and are there any schools that are universally despised like they are in basketball? Like, obviously Notre Dame moves the needle, but Notre Dame, I feel like, has a bigger, wider fan base than Duke. Like Duke doesn't have some enormous fan base. Obviously, you have Duke, and then you have losers like Marty Mush, who somehow, or Hank, who become affiliated with it or whatever. But for the size of their fans, they have the most haters, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That definitely. I mean, they've always been incredibly polarized. They've been unlikable, and even this year's team, which I guess was more likable, still in the end, everybody loved to watch them lose.
But they've always been the opposite of what they are now. They've always been the team that is up there in that 1 to 2 seed line. That they were the UConn for a while. Where if nobody kills Duke, Duke's going to be there in the end. They won some national titles where they weren't overwhelmingly the best team, but they stayed and they stayed and they stayed and they won the best. They won the championship. Now they have the most talent. You look even back to like 2018 when they had Zion and they had that team, and that team didn't make the Final Four. Last year they had Cooper Flag and Con Knueppel.
Figure that out. I mean, last year's team had 2 top 8 picks.
Unbelievable.
2 top guys in Rookie of the Year.
And not only 2 top 8 picks, but 2 guys who are tearing the NBA apart right now, and they couldn't get it done against a Houston team that, good coach, good roster, but they should have beaten that team. And now this is what Duke is now, and that is absolutely delicious. It's fantastic.
It really is. And how about the call? How about the Duke? And that's just the cherry on top. The Duke radio broadcast given the call, and then they're begging for a technical for the UConn bench celebrating. I mean, it is a great time to be a Duke hater. They're low, they're gutless, they're cowardly, they can't win a big game, and I feel bad for the Boozer kid because he was classy as all class could be in the locker room. Both of them were, to be honest.
Yeah.
Both of them sat there.
Well, they're likable. It's kind of,
But you know what? I still was eating my ice cream with the sundae with a big smile on my face, watching them answer those questions. I knew it was like hate porn. I shouldn't have been enjoying it, but man, it was good to see them suffer. And Shire, I mean, remember the Peyton Manning face when he used to lose all the time? The Shire face, and that's all over the internet. Just total shock, disbelief, dismay with this twisted smile. That program is in wreckage. I haven't seen anything from Coach K. What has Coach K said? I need that too. What does he say?
Well, Brandon, let's have the Shire conference. And look at that, 134-0. We lead by 50.5. What about Shire, though? Because, to me,
there he is.
This feels like we might be making a little too much of all of this, or is that just is that just a standard at Duke? Even though this would be incredible for anybody else, is he really falling short enough to where this could be a bottom of our graphic?
So, like Dave said, when you're a Duke fan, you sign a social contract that this is what you're going to face. If you sign up to be the Duke coach, and you sign up to have all these 5 stars and have the best talent every year, and you sign up to continue running that organization, you sign up to, when these things go wrong, you are the guy that answers for it. Now, is it fair? I don't know if it's fair or not, but it is. All I know is if you're at Michigan, if you're at Alabama, if you're at UCLA, if you're at Kentucky, and you lose the way they lost in the last 2 tournaments, regardless of your talent profile, you're going to face a lot of questions.
Yep.
So Shire has to face a lot of questions because the head coach is the one standing there while this is happening.
And then the inverse of all this is Hurley, right? And I know.
Yeah, can I jump into the Shire?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dave.
Shire.
My bad.
Do you want the real answer? Or do you want the we're on Wake Up Barstool and the Barstool answer? Because
you might as well do both. Do both.
The Barstool answer is fire him. He's a coward. He can't win. He doesn't have that clutch gene. The real answer at Duke is he's definitely not on the hot seat. He's had 2 great seasons and 2 horrific losses, but he's part of the program. Most people say he's a great coach. Now, we can have fun with it, and the fans will have fun with it, and he'll have to answer that. But don't forget, before Krzyzewski broke through, he was struggling to get to the Final Fours, or was it he was getting to the Final Fours and couldn't win it? He's not on the hot seat, but he's on the fan hot seat. He's opened Pandora's box for everybody who hates Duke, like me, like North Carolina, like basically the world, just to have fun with him until he breaks through. The reality is he is definitely not on the hot seat at Duke.
Yeah, that's kind of funny part about everybody who does break through is you forget all the failures that they kind of had along the way, and you just assume they always won at that level.
Also, like he said, elite shocked face. He's the perfect coach.
He's the perfect
coach to lose in the meme era, right? He's the perfect coach to lose when we can gif every single thing. That meme will live on forever because he's just staring at it, and he not that the coach can do anything, but it's the perfect face.
I don't put any blame on the hand up guy, by the way. 0. That all happened so fast. The guy's near half court. What are you gonna jump at him and follow him from there? I didn't really think that was fair.
Yeah. Okay, so on the opposite side of Shire, though, I mean,
it's unbelievable. Hold on, the hand on the head guy, that'll be around forever.
I like to look at every face in the picture. I mean, every single face is shocked. Every single that guy looks like Will Forte playing a character. Like every single one of them is great.
They know exactly. They could feel what that.
And the way it developed, it's like it's a slow motion death. Like from the tip of the ball to UConn getting it to passing it. It's I got to assume it's like being in a car crash and seeing your life pass before you, and everything slows down, and then next moment you're just dead. You're just in heaven, or in Duke's case in hell, looking up, just being like, oh, we're dead.
Now, if we do want to talk about Shire, we are focused on the last 10 seconds.
Yeah.
They blew a 19-point lead.
That's what I was going to say is that's the other great part about that play. It's the exclamation point on what was like watching, sand pass through your hands as you're desperately trying to hold on to it. Like this was an epic collapse that lasted the entire second half.
Yeah, North Carolina a couple of weeks ago, or North Carolina in the first round goes out after blowing a 19-point lead. Now Duke goes out after blowing a 19-point lead. What does it mean? I don't know, but it's funny.
It is funny.
Yeah, and they were just really, really sloppy. Like turnovers without getting shots, live action, like turnovers, easy buckets the other way. And UConn was getting easy shots. I mean, they were putting in a pick and roll. They were getting dunks. They were getting layups. Caravan didn't play great. He hits a gigantic three. So, it was a comeback that you saw coming for quite a bit. Like they kept just chipping away, whittling away, getting close, and everything was much easier for UConn in the second half. Now, how much of that is coaching and adjustments, and Danny Hurley goes into the locker room and just puts them in a blender? I don't know.
But listen, we came into this tournament and we had 3 top teams. Florida was the weakest number 1 seed. They ended up going out early. But Duke, Arizona, and Michigan, and I tweeted this out yesterday, but when I watch Arizona and Michigan, my breath gets taken away. Like I can't believe how good they are at college basketball. They just come at you in waves. They suffocate you. Both of them do. And I never felt that way about Duke. I never felt that way that Duke was this overwhelmingly good team. Like they were fine, they were solid, but Boozer was never somebody that made you go, oh my God, wow. He was a guy that you look up at the end, he's got 18 and 15 or something like that.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great player. He's a great player, but he doesn't wow me like some of these other players.
I don't know about
like
the Boozer specifically, but I do see what you're saying, like with the team as a whole.
Sure.
I'm just saying, but the Michigan lost to Duke.
They did, but I think we came. I think we were on this show the next day, and I think both of us said, you know what, Michigan lost the game, but I still think they're as good as Duke is.
And I was happy they lost. I thought it was a good loss for Michigan at the team. Get it out of the way. Know that you have you're not invincible. So I was happy with it. But Boozer looked unstoppable in that game. By the way, those odds are such a slap in the face to UConn. There's 4 teams left. They're plus 550.
Yeah.
What is the line in that Illinois UConn game?
1.5.
Plus 550. You're a coin flip. And I think I don't know who beats that Illinois team. I really don't know. This Final Four to me, again, echoing Walker, Arizona and Michigan seem a cut above, but you cannot sleep on that UConn team.
The Balkan block. All right, look, we still got to get to Illinois. I still want to talk a bit more about Hurley as well. A lot more college basketball to get to on Wake Up Barstool on the other side of the
And Tiger Woods got arrested.
I don't know, dude. It's a cold open. I was panicking.
I didn't see it.
Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. All right, there's a lot of directions we could go here, but I think one makes the most sense. Dave, credit to you.
Oh, my God.
You showed incredible discipline in not immediately coming on and shouting about the block letter M. Yet here we are. Brandon's been waiting for it all day long. Michigan in the Final Four.
Well, it's not just that, because teams do make it to the Final Four. Now, I booked my trip, my hotel, if you recall, in Indianapolis. I said on the show about a month ago. I've had it. I've known this team was locked and loaded for Indy. Anybody with 2 eyeballs knew that. But I really think the story here is how powerful this school, Michigan, has become in all sports. We are in the final Frozen Four in hockey, advanced with a 4-3 victory yesterday over Minnesota Duluth. And the women, albeit big underdogs, are playing Texas tonight. They're about 9-point dogs to go to the women's Final Four. Now, this is an era of dominance that really, quite simply, college athletics has never seen before. And I've seen these graphics like teams since I think it was 2016 who have made multiple college football playoffs, multiple Sweet 16s, Final Four. It's only Michigan. It is only Michigan. And it isn't always easy to be a fan of the school. Like after Michigan beat the brakes off of Tennessee, I had to go tune in for a hockey game. I got to lock in today for the women's game. It's one major sport after another, all the major ones. Michigan is there. It is the best athletic program in the country, and it's not particularly close. And I'll tell you what, if Dusty May stays, and I assume he is, with Warden Manuel's talking about locking him up, this is going to be a reoccurring thing. Everyone's going to have to deal with this in the basketball program. We're looking great in football. It's a great time to be a Wolverine fan. No school. I feel like I'm in Hoosiers when the shooter is in the hospital room. No school this big has ever won. Well, no school in the history of college athletics has ever won the Frozen Four, the college hockey championship, and the basketball in the same year. Michigan has a great chance to do it. They're the overall #1 seed in hockey, and obviously we got a big game against Arizona, but I think the winner of that game comes out. So heady times. Am I going to go to Vegas? That's what everyone's asking. People are at home on their treadmills watching Wake Up Barstool. They're screaming, Dave, are you going to go to Vegas for the Frozen Four? I don't know. We have IceCon conflicting. I will be in Indianapolis. Let's take one thing at a time. But, you look around the panel. You got Brandon Walker, an absolute bum, Mississippi State. And you look around at some of these schools. The fact that I just rotate. And let's take this on a bigger level. Hey, Dave, why is he so insufferable? Why does so many people, why is he the Duke of online stuff, sports? Well, it's because I go from the Super Bowl with the Patriots to the Final Four.
You lost in blowout fashion.
Frozen Four to the Celtics back in the hunt for an NBA. It never rests in my world. You never get a day off. It's always, you got to be on, you got to be on point. It's been like that for 2 decades. So thank you, Michigan. They look great. What can you say? They absolutely destroyed them. My favorite part of the game was after it was over. Dusty May is just leaning against kind of the stanchion there on the hoop, watching his players cut down the net. He didn't run to the microphone. He didn't have a red eye. He wasn't making it about himself, and he just let the players shine. That's what it is at Michigan. Let the athletes shine.
Brandon, would you like to take this opportunity to congratulate Dave?
I would not, because I tried.
But you got to admit what I said is pretty crazy.
The teams have been, schools have been succeeding in a lot of sports for a long time. And Texas is going to beat the brakes off women's basketball tonight, so that's going to be done.
Succeeding in sports for a long time.
Teams have been succeeding for a very long time. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. Dave just found out there's a Frozen Four 24 hours ago. You had no idea it existed. That's
not true. Michigan had one of the best hockey programs in the country when I was there. 2 national championships.
He's thinking about going to Vegas, Brandon.
He's thinking about going to Vegas, yeah, sure. As far as the basketball team goes, this is a scary, scary, scary team. This is
Let's get into Michigan, Arizona.
They come at you in waves. They're so good. They're so good defensively. Arizona is great offensively and probably match Michigan in that regard, but I don't think Arizona cuts your head off like Michigan does defensively. They just suffocate you and they just knock you down. As much as I don't like when Dave succeeds, I gotta call a spade a spade. This is probably the best team in the country. These are definitely the best 2 teams in the country, and this is a remarkable Final Four game.
Yeah, it's a heavyweight. They're, all the advanced metrics and everything. These are clearly the best 2 teams in the country. You mentioned defense. Well, you look at defensive efficiency. Michigan's first in the country. Arizona's second. You're talking about the Big 12 Player of the Year going against a Big 10 Player of the Year. The regular season champs for both those conferences.
I see no advantage. This game is a 100% coin flip. I've been eyeing them in boat shoes since this tournament commenced. I knew that these 2 teams were on a collision course for each other, and it's going to happen. It's going to be 9 p.m. I already, like I said, I bought the suite for this. Again, it would make you sick how far in advance I locked up this suite knowing Michigan would be there. So I've known this is coming. I've known it. If you have two eyeballs, you saw this game coming down the pike, and that's what makes me. And for all the, and there was the first couple rounds, is Cinderella dead? And because of NIL, this tournament has delivered on a spectacular level. I don't need sweet Cinderellas; they're nice, but if we're gonna get endings like that Duke, and we're gonna get games like this that should be spectacular, sign me up.
Okay, so if it is a coin flip game, then this is for the room. Who's the best player left? Is it Lindenberg? Is it one of the Arizona trio of freshmen? Who's the best player in this game?
Well, can I say something about Yaxel?
Yeah.
Yaxel going in the press conference the other
Great
day
game.
and laughing and saying, they had a freshman guard me. This guy is 29 years old. This guy is the oldest. This guy should be in the middle of an NBA career right now, and he's laughing about a freshman guarding him. Like, okay, dude, you're taking advantage of outdated technology here, playing in your 6th year. He is probably the best player left, though. But Arizona might have the next 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Like, Arizona's got 4 or 5 guys, Koa Pete, the Bradley, Barry's, the big guy. Thank you very much.
Krivas.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, Morenz Johnson Jr. was not great. In fact, he was awful against Alabama. The big guy was awful versus Alabama. Cost me $50,000, by the way, shooting a sky hook baseline jumper with a shot clock violation at the end of the first half, which he'll get an invoice for that. I think you can do that now in this new NIL era. But Morenz Johnson's he's an NBA guy. Now Arizona's best player is a bad Mamma Jamma. There's great players all over the court. I'll take Lindenberg. I don't think it's fair to complain about his age in this NIL era and everything's chaos. You play with the hand you're dealt. And Dusty May is the best at it. Dusty May is the absolute best. Everyone wants to come play for this guy, Dusty May. He's a beacon of light and a beacon of hope.
I'm not complaining about his age, but when he gets on a press conference and says, I took it disrespectful that a freshman was guarding me, like, all right, you're 23 years old. You ought to be in the NBA by your 3rd year now. Like, don't just sit there and make fun of a freshman, because that's how I
didn't hear you.
BS.
I love when Larry Bird was mad. Larry Bird, that quote, he's like, you guys are going to have a white guy guard me? You probably love that. How's that disrespectful? Lindenberg's saying the truth. You're going to have a freshman guard me? I'm going to eat him up. And he did eat him up.
Speaking of white guys, there's one team we haven't really touched on. Illinois. The Balkan block, dude. Illinois finding their way back to the Final Four. Maybe one of the best programs ever to never win. I think this is their 6th trip to the Final Four. Never won a championship. They dominate Iowa. Is this Final Four? Is it really just, is Illinois just an afterthought?
No. The 2 best teams are in the one game. But I think UConn or Illinois could still win the thing. I don't think they should be favored, but these are 2 very, very, very good teams. And it is remarkable to me that Illinois hadn't made a Final Four since, 2005?
2005.
And Arizona hadn't made it in 25 years?
Yeah.
That's crazy. But Illinois is a terrific program. And more than that, this coach is a terrific coach.
Yeah,
Underwood's fantastic, and this is his chance at a spotlight, going up against Hurley and then going up against maybe.
You see what Hurley said to the ref? Don't turn your back on me. I'm the best effing coach in the country.
You saw him. Is that when he went forehead to forehead with the ref? Was that same?
I thought that was
a different segment. And I love Hurley. Listen, this is going to be it won't be tough. I'm a Michigan man, but if it's Michigan UConn, I have a long storied history with the Huskies. Michigan wasn't relevant at this time. They weren't even making the tournament. But I've been at the Huskies when I've been betting on them. I snuck into the student section. Somebody gave me a joint. I was high as a kite down there rooting for the Huskies. They snuck me in with fake IDs. I've ridden UConn. I had that future on UConn where I won over $2 million. I think it was $2 million 2 years ago. This will be, I almost would rather Illinois because I don't hate Illinois and they're a team in the Big Ten, so there's a little natural. But UConn, I have a soft spot for UConn.
You're like Donna Kelsey. You'll be like Donna Kelsey with Travis and Jason in the Super Bowl.
No, it won't be that. But I respect you're an East Coast team. I'll tell you what, Mutt. Mutt is a big UConn fan.
Yeah,
I don't like Mutt. Okay. I have a suite. I have 21 tickets to this suite. I'm going to be burning some of these tickets on fire because I have so many extra tickets. Mutt, if he just didn't say the sweatsuit that I got him was baggy and corny.
Goofy, right?
Goofy. If he didn't say goofy, he'd be sitting in the suite. I've never seen anybody mess up anything like that guy.
Did you get the sweatsuit back?
he gave it to me, and then it was bad luck, so he put it back on. I will also say it makes me very confident if it's Michigan versus UConn, because I can't imagine a scenario where Mutt is standing over my dead body with like a sword in his hand. I can't imagine that.
Is there any world in which Mutt can earn his way back to an
Yeah, he has to. We are at a quagmire here because Kirk Minahan said, and then we're getting deep in Barstool talk, but Kirk Minahan, our resident psycho, said that
One of them.
Yeah, one of many actually, said that he said the jumpsuit was goofy. And Mutt then denies saying that. Kirk is like, he 100% said that. So I've asked Mutt, who is lying? And Mutt continues to say, well, I didn't say it.
Oof.
Is Kirk lying? No. Until that is ironed out, Mutt is dead to me and will not get this invite.
Well, what about UConn fan Jeff D. Lowe? Does he have an invite?
Undecided.
Biggest gossip in the company, according to you.
Biggest gossip and an extension of Mutt and Kirk.
Look, okay, real quick here to wrap up this segment. I want to talk a little bit about Hurley. And I know, like, because here, UConn, third Final Four in 4 years. If they win the championship, it'll be the first since the Wooden teams to win 3 and 4. And I know, along with that, like, this would be known, but it is shocking when you read 17 and 1 in these last 4 tournaments. 17 and 1. The only loss, 2 points to Florida last year, who ends up winning the Natty. What he said to the ref, is that unquestionably true? Is he easily? I mean, is he the number one coach?
He's the best coach in the country. Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
100%. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's everything that Tom Izzo looks at in the mirror. Like and I loved when UConn beat Michigan State. Izzo's trying to put himself in the same breath with this guy. I saw it, Tommy, Sweet 16 Tommy. I saw him be like, well, coaches like me and Hurley. No. You guys aren't in the same air. You guys aren't in the same zip code, Sweet 16 Tommy. This guy, what he's doing is amazing. How he gets away with it in this day and age, and we have Mick Cronin on, who I love, but it's been an interesting thing this tournament with like old school Bobby Knight type coaches trying to like reclaim the right to be like a bully, which I love. But for a long time, guys like Hurley were getting run out. Like you can't swear, you can't do this, you can't be mean to kids. This guy's out there headbutting refs and getting away with it. I love it.
Yeah, I think putting himself at the top of the sport has taken away the leeway for people to criticize him, right?
Yeah.
Like if he was just getting to Final Fours, if he's just getting to Elite Eights, I think he leaves open the criticism. But the fact that when he gets here, he wins the national title, there's nothing you can say at this point.
Yeah. I think those shows like The View haven't even caught wind of this guy yet. I'm not saying in like sports world necessarily, but like there is an element of everybody's a trophy generation and everyone's a winner and you got to be nice to the athletes. He's not that. He's everything that's the opposite, which again, I think everybody on this panel loves. I think it's great. But for a long time, society has really been frowning upon. You can't yell at a kid. Everyone needs, and you got Mick Cronin coming on saying, hey, this ain't Little League, bud. We're trying to win. Not everyone gets played. That is new. And they've gotten away with it. And I don't know how. Maybe it's NIL. I love it. But these antics that Hurley does, Danny Hurley, I thought it was a thing of the past. I didn't think any coach could get away with doing what he does right now. And it's winning culture right now for UConn, that's for sure. But I just think a lot of people don't know about it. Like, this would be topic 1 on The View if they knew about it.
You think cancel culture hadn't quite caught up to him yet?
Yeah, they may not know he exists.
It's like most cancel culture, right? It's kind of like a social democracy. If you win enough, you can kind of get away with it. You know, Brandon, it reminds me of someone else.
I don't think that's true.
Well, it reminds me of someone else.
I'm one of the great winners of all time, and people have come at me forever.
Well, and I was going to say, it reminds me of someone else, our friend who just wrote a book, actually, Cancel Me If You Can, which you can pre-order now. Everybody should go check it out, right?
My God,
I mean,
man,
Dave,
have a little pride.
Dave,
have a little pride.
What? I'm just saying. He didn't want birthday wishes. What did I do? I pre-ordered the book.
He wants stock up so bad.
I'm trying, Liam. I'm back in the seat, back from Disney. I'm trying to feel good. No, but in all seriousness, that is true. Like, that is true. Like, if you keep winning enough, people like you enough, you can survive things that others can't and then blame, oh, well, everybody came out. Well, no, you just didn't win enough. And Hurley, well,
but last year
when
when Hurley and them, when they lost to Florida, but their regular season wasn't as good, right?
Yeah.
He did get a lot of heat. Last year was I believe he had 2 straight games. One of them where he was flipping off the crowd or something. He was doing something to the crowd.
Yeah, Creighton, he did that. He did that with Creighton. But it's great. I love that. But all I'm saying is it felt like for the last, I don't know, 5-10 years, when a coach acts like this, you have a player issuing a lawsuit saying the coach is a meanie pants to me in the locker room. And anybody who's of my age is like, what are we even talking about here? Oh, the guy said you stunk and you had to work harder and called you the F word. Who cares? That's sports. But that's been not what I feel like the culture has been. And then you have this guy, and he banded with Izzo, and he banded with Mick Cronin, and he banded with all these old school coaches being like, we're bringing it back. We're bringing back being the tough, hard-nosed coach. I love Underwood, too.
Yeah. Okay, Meek, Liam, we haven't given you all a lot of chance to jump in here yet. Any final 4 thoughts from the weekend as we prepare to head to break?
John Shire should coach in the NBA and leave college. That's my take. Go be the coach of the Chicago Bulls.
I need Michigan to beat Arizona so bad. I can't fathom eating 40 waffles.
Oh, yes, that's a 40 waffle team.
Oh, Arizona is. 40 waffles. And for those that may be uninitiated, how did this bet come about?
Mostly Sports is a show that airs every day on the internet from 10 Central to 11:30.
And Mark Tice bullied me.
Yeah, we make everybody, if your team loses, you got to eat 40 waffles. Arizona's his 40 waffle team.
40 waffles. Good luck, Liam. Very good chance.
Who's got Michigan?
Cody.
Cody, who had Florida last year, I think.
No, Connor had Florida.
Oh, yeah, right. You're right.
I have, if anybody wants to root for something positive and root for goodness in the world, I do have a little future. I have $50,000 to win 500 on Michigan. Not my biggest, but
on what?
I think we're all rooting for you to get richer.
Could happen to a better person.
Is that
little
in hockey?
Little $500,000 hit right there. That wouldn't be bad.
All right, guys. So we'll move away from basketball for a bit. We still got our own resident psycho, Rico Bosco,
We're talking
coming
Tiger
back.
interested?
We're not talking Tiger interested.
Tiger's a big story. That is a headline story.
Yeah, when do we get to talk about that?
Okay.
Did Riggs get to
you know what? Let's do it next. We'll do MLB, ABS review. It's going fine.
You're putting ABS out of Tiger Woods?
Well, Riggs spoke to the guys up at WUB and said, no Tiger, no Tiger.
Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool here on FS1.
Yes.
ABS? Or do you want to go Tiger?
You want to talk about automatic balls and strikes from week
It's
1?
been pretty good.
Well, I
talk
got
about
to tell you,
Tiger Woods.
I made a pledge I was going to bet every Red Sox game this year. And so I've started, and ABS has been very involved in the Red Sox. CB Bucknor was the umpire, so that was kind of the biggest. He missed. I love it. I sat here earlier saying I would not like it, and I don't want it, and now I love it. But the Red Sox are the dumbest teams ever to use it. Here, this is the 3rd inning. This is the 3rd inning, and I got my guy, Roman, basically 2 pitches in a row he's challenging. One of them was a strike. We lost our challenges before the 4th inning. I love it, but if you're a player and you're wrong, you got to lose a pinky if you do this before the 5th inning. You need to save these challenges to later in the game. Now, the Reds were 5 for 5 with CB Bucknor. He's missing $1 million. He's missing $1 million with the Red Sox, but Roman Anthony was burning them in the 3rd inning with nobody on and 2 outs. It's has Cora, the Red Sox manager, not explained the rules? If you run out of these things, this is going to determine baseball games all season.
Look at this one, dude.
And a big part of it is going to be who is using it correctly at the end of the game. And it's got to be instantaneous. I love it. I thought I'd hate it. I love it. But you need to save these to the end of the game.
I didn't know it would be as electric as it is. The Reds batter that did it twice in a row after getting rung up twice in a row. He gets rung up twice and says this twice, and the umpire on the second one, CB Bucknor, is annoyed. He's like, all right, man. And he turns
he's
around.
Been exposed.
Also, the first one was
Absolutely
0.3 inches, though. That's the other funny thing about this. These are not, for the most part, these are not major misses. We're like, oh, look at that. It was 0.3 inches on that first.
And the numbers.
Baseball's that game. Those inches are the
fair.
difference between outs and inning. And I mean, the Reds were right, but I'm telling you, if you watch your team and they're using it in the third inning, you have to be right. I love Roman Anthony, but you miss one in the third inning with nobody on. CB Buckner's missing things by a mile in the later innings, and you're out at challenges. It's fascinating, the strategy. And there is no strategy except if you tell your players before, if there's nobody on early innings, I don't care if he throws one off the backstop, you can't use it. But it's in the player's hands, which makes it so fascinating. There's no manager. It's just you're going to be instantaneous.
It's actually it's had so many different like I thought it would remove the human element from the game. As you're pointing out, it added a brand new human element to the game. Now we've got this entire new layer of strategy, of mini game. It actually has proven also how good the umps are for the most part. Like we're highlighting CB Buckner, bad day, whatever. But I mean, the umps have won.
Well, he's just bad.
Majority of these.
Yeah. So catchers are pretty good at it. I saw numbers through Saturday. Catchers are pretty good. Batters are worse, and then pitchers are awful. Pitchers
that makes sense.
Terrible. Whenever a pitcher does it,
the catcher's like the most, he's the impartial observer there.
This was going through Saturday. Batters were 26 for 57. That means the umpire won 31 of those. The catchers are 40 for 63. Pitchers are 1 for 4, which not a whole lot of pitchers are doing it, but that's still pretty fascinating.
I have a stat from Codify from the first 35 games of the season. 69% of the calls were overturned from the top 10 oldest umpires, and 39% of the calls were overturned by the top 10 youngest umpires. This is going to make all the old umpires that have awful vision just retire from the game. They're going to go.
What do you think, Meek? You're a baseball.
I love it.
Like it?
I love it. Embarrass these old umpires. Get them out the game. I want the games called
old
perfectly.
People are okay.
Relax.
They should not be calling balls and strikes.
I mean,
if you were
why are you hollering?
If you are 60 years old like Plummer, you should not be calling balls and strikes behind the plate.
What? I think that's
a fair take to have.
By the way, I have a lot of respect for you, Meek, because I am a casual regular season watcher. When I'm betting every game, I'm watching every pitch. My blood pressure is through the roof. Like the Red Sox are 1-2, and they really should be 3-0. Sonny Gray, I don't know what he did. He had a guy at the plate. He threw it at him like it was banana ball, as Hogdale would say. Nice. And then yesterday, Duran gets picked off at first in the 8th inning after they'd thrown over like 4 times. Mm-hmm. I'm in the middle of watching college basketball, horse racing. I want to put my head through
hockey.
I don't know how you do 100. I texted Hogdale. I go, I don't know how you do 162 of these.
Yeah, it's a long season. 150.
I understand Frank the Tank now. If you are hanging on every pitch for 162 games, that will drive you to drink. That is a tough business.
I remember I had a tweet like 2 years ago. It was like some teams were playing a game 7. I was like, well, Frank's treating a Wednesday day game versus the Pirates in April the same exact way as regular fans treat game 7 of like the Stanley Cup playoffs.
That is a tough way. And that's what I want to do. I'm like, I am going to be so locked in on the Red Sox this year. I don't know if I can do it. I bet him first 3 games. I'm down, and I felt like a boozer. I wanted to put my hand through the glass, like right at. It's like, how do you get picked off with the hottest hitter, Abreu? I'm getting too deep. Nobody wants to hear this, but I am deep in baseball.
Early onset Flemings.
It is. Because it's a beautiful thing to do. It's like you have something to look forward to every single day. It's like, oh, Red Sox play there. You don't have to wait once a week like football. I'm going to bet them 162 games and see where it figures out. I don't know if I can do it. It already took a year off my life.
The Mets have already played 2 extra inning games, and Dickie Lovelady has already taken a win and a loss in the 2 games.
Yeah, Red Sox hit a home run in the bottom of the
like
ninth.
that. I don't admit anything to anybody.
Well, Dickie Lovelady is the 26th guy on the roster. Should be pitching back-to-back games in March.
Once again, may I point out, a top 10 athlete in the history of sports got arrested for DUI on Friday, and then
But what about Dickie Lovelady?
What about, we're talking about Dickie Lovelady?
I thought the
We should
Mets
talk about Dickie
season
Lovelady.
What is wrong with Tiger Woods?
I don't know, man. Somebody around Tiger Woods needs to get a handle on Tiger Woods.
I don't care if he's abusing pills. I don't care if he's got an abuse problem, alcohol problem, a drug problem, banging blonde problem. I don't care about any of those problems. But you can have somebody drive you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's crazy.
He's rich.
Rich.
Drive you. He should have a driver with him wherever he goes. There is no excuse. And I know our guy, Riggs, is trying to protect them so he can make a little video when they're on their knees hitting a golf ball. It's like, oh, Tiger hits it farther than us on his knees. You think you guys are like scrubs and he's the best golfer of all time. I don't care about those videos protecting him. When you get behind the wheel impaired, you're not just putting yourself in risk, You're putting anybody else on the road, innocent people. So you can't really make light of it. I have no sympathy for the guy. What does he do? I don't know anybody who has ever rolled a car over. This guy rolls it over every 2 weeks. Yep. So you know what? Put him behind bars, put him in jail for a little bit, make him wake up. Again, I don't care. I have a lot of vices, and I like a lot of vices. My vices only put me in jeopardy and nobody else. When you get behind the wheel, just get a driver. It's not hard. Just have somebody with you at all times who is driving you. Rappaport, he feels in control in the car. Shut up, Rappaport. I'm glad you don't work here anymore. I don't know why you're crying. It was the worst hire ever by Riggs. By the way, there's a rainbow in a boat right now going by the rainbow. And it's beautiful. And it's absolutely sailboat going by a
focus. You think you could turn around the camera?
Going all the way into the sky. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to catch this with the glare.
Hey, Pete.
Oh wow. Oh, I see the bottom of the rainbow. Yeah. Yes. Look at it right there.
You do not see a damn rainbow.
Look, right here, Brandon. Right here, by the dog. When it adjusts, it's coming up right here, right between the trees. Oh, you can't see it.
Beautiful.
Now. See it a little bit ago. Yeah, there it is.
Absolutely beautiful, and there's a sailboat going through it.
Should we get Tiger Woods like a racing simulator so he could still feel comfortable at the wheel?
But seriously, you can't have sympathy for the guy right now.
I completely agree.
Like, what are you doing? And by the way, the speed limit in these towns he lives in is like 4 miles per hour. He's rolling cars over left and right.
It's like
I've never been a Tiger guy. He's one of the guys I root against, but this is serious. I'm not saying anything nobody in the world isn't saying. It's not funny anymore. It's not like, oh, he's rolling over cars. He's Tiger being Tiger. Get a driver. You're going to kill somebody. You're going to kill somebody innocent.
Yeah, that's where it almost becomes like something, psychologically dark. And because you're right, because the solution seems so obvious. Just
the easiest solution in the world. Does he think like that the car is a golfer? He's competing versus the car. He's like, I'll be able to get from the golf course to my house without rolling over. I mean, what is he doing?
Do you think he still plays in the Masters?
No.
He's got to lay low, huh?
I think that's I don't know if it's image repair or just Tiger repair, but something needs to be repaired right now.
Tiger repair.
Yeah,
I don't know
Tiger
about
repair.
It's long past overdue.
If he just keeps coming back and playing tournaments and everybody pats him on the butt and says, "Hey, your diaper's pretty today," like this isn't helping anybody.
That's Riggs. That's Riggs. Riggs is an enabler, and if something, God forbid, happens, he should go to prison. Like he for enabling the crime. What we need from Tiger Woods is him to sit there, which I don't know that he's done this. Look in the camera, be like, I have a abuse problem. The bigger problem is I keep getting behind the wheel. You're never going to see me drive again. Yeah. I am never going to drive a vehicle. I am incapable of driving a vehicle, and I will have a driver. I have hundreds of billions of trillions of dollars, and I'll have a driver. That's all he has to do. And then it goes away.
So Riggs was able to stop the Barstool blogging machine because he likes Tiger?
There was a text that was sent that was saying we are not going to cover this story, which then made its way to me and I published.
Journalism.
And then it got exposed. Riggs went crazy viral. He was trending worldwide. And again, I've been known to defend my guys. Mm-hmm. I have known to maybe sometimes when my guys do things that may not be on the up and up to defend them because they're my guys. This is a little different. I'd like to think I would be like, you got to get a driver. You just, again, because he's not, for me, where this becomes, funny, to not as funny is the innocent lives that are at risk when you get behind the wheel of a drunk driver. Mm-hmm. And there's so many people who have lost loved ones, family members from a drunk driver. I'm sure there is nothing funny when the same guy, keeps getting into a car impaired and putting other people in peril. So that, I don't want to sound like the old guy, but you just can't do it.
Yeah, but I think Riggs, Rappaport, I think these guys would be honored to be in a car that got sideswiped by Tiger Woods. I think they'd be excited.
I'm going to call Riggs right now and ask him.
Well, we're going to break now.
All right.
Let's see if we can get Riggs on.
All right. Okay, end of hour one, we got Rico Bosco coming on. We still got stock up, stock down.
Might dig my dead dad up.
Potentially might get Riggs. We got Men of Honors, Rico Bosco coming on. Don't go anywhere. More Wake Up Barstool on FS1.
There he is. just like, why did I ever make that bet?
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool here on FS1. It is time for our college hoops expert. We all ride for him. It's our guy, Rico Bosco, live talking hoops every single Monday here on Wake Up Barstool. Rico, Final Four is set. And before we get into, we'll talk about Michigan, Alabama, I want to get your thoughts on Will Wade back to LSU.
Jim, shut up. Come on. Ask him about Men of Honor. He had the biggest stream in company history the other night, and he lost. Ask him about that.
Okay.
And to set the stage again for the treadmill crowd, and when I say treadmill crowd, those are the people just walking, getting their steps in early and may not be overly familiar with the Barstool world. We had a bet, Rico and I. He's an Alabama. I don't know what he is. He's an Alabama. He's a Nate Oates fan, and he will do whatever for Nate Oates. So Michigan played Bama. The bet was I would double his salary and give him a 10-year guaranteed contract if Bama beat Michigan. But if Michigan won, he would have to do a podcast with his sworn enemy, Nadeau, called Men of Honor, which he's avoided basically his entire career. And obviously Michigan won. And then Nadeau came on the stream. Rico said he'd dig up his dead father, do the first episode on Father's Day, and off we were running. So that is happening.
Yeah, regrettable comment. I apologize for that.
Rico,
No, I'm not on your side, but I am on the record. I am on the record as saying this rivalry runs so deep that you don't hold back any nukes or missiles. When you have something to fire, you just fire it and you black out. Now, I wish we started a little earlier. I wish we did a podcast right after. You guys went on a Twitter stream, Omar. I'm going to have to hire that guy probably before it's all said and done. But you guys went back and forth. Nadeau's promoting the show. The good news is I think it could be a very big podcast.
Rico, your thoughts on Men of Honor?
Listen, Mike and the Mad Dog didn't talk during breaks for 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
So absolutely nothing in common. I think the underlying thing is that it's not necessarily one person I don't like, it's 3. So that's a tough spot for me, but we'll see how it all goes.
Now you're talking about Meek Phil, who will produce, and Lucas who will produce, but Big Cat told me that he was asked by Nadeau to moderate.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I don't know. Big Cat's pretty busy. I don't know if you'd have him on every episode.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I've been hunting this thing for a long time. Nadeau seems all in. You look like you want to
rent
wait.
to pay, so yeah.
What's that?
We all got to pay our rent. That's just a generic statement. Like mortgages do, bills are due. You need a job. So yeah, it makes sense.
Do you think it's capable? Or actually, Meek, let me ask you. Do you think it's capable of these two doing a functional show together?
I do not. I want to see how one episode goes before I make any comment about that.
And what are your intentions, Meek? Because I cannot help but feel that you're going to look to exacerbate the situation.
I am impartial as can be. I want a good show because these are two guys that know how to make content, and
it's one of the great rivalries in all sports. I mean, I saw Nate on our end being like, Nadeau Bosco has overtaken Smitty and me. Like, no kidding. That
overtook him like a while ago.
Long time ago. But so we'll see what happens. But I'm willing. He don't want to talk much. What do you think? Final Four thoughts? UConn, you're a college basketball expert. Maybe we get in a little bit about the Fanta controversy. Rico accused Fanta. I don't know if you guys saw that clip.
I reached out to Fanta
about having a ticket to the Pumps party this week, which Fanta took exception to. What's on your mind, Rico? Me and
Fanta got to have a lunch. I offered him something nice this week, so we gotta moderate that.
How many apologies have you had to issue?
You're not necessarily a clean slate either there, Walker.
Can we pull that Fanta clip up?
I'm pretty clean compared to you.
Fair enough. Dave, you guys touched on it earlier. The first 2 days of the tournament, everybody's excited of the upsets and the comebacks and the Cinderellas and these little schools. And it's awesome. And it gives us all these great gambling moments. But for the last 2 years, it's been the big dogs at the end, and it's delivered unbelievably. Now, we're going to see how this Final Four plays out. But last year was 2 Final Four classics and an unbelievable championship game. And we got a great Final Four, an unbelievable Final Four. T-Bob, a couple of months ago, I remember telling you about the last week of January, that poll that is a great predictor for the Final Four. 3 of these 4 were in the top 10. We're in the top 10.
Yeah.
for this month in terms of that. So like it's they've been there. They're all really, really good. The underrated thing I think is the rematch with UConn and Illinois, because UConn played everybody out of conference. They won by 13. Illinois shot like hell at Madison Square Garden, which is a brutal environment, but two completely different teams than they are now. Wagler played like 10 minutes, had 3 points. Braylon Mullins barely played. He was coming off the injury. So two completely different teams in that rematch, but just an awesome Final Four. And then Michigan, Arizona, like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
These are two superpowers in a semifinal. This is insane. So awesome, awesome Final Four.
Who do you got in that game?
I got Michigan. I mean, I'll never root for Arizona given the alumni, or at least one. But yeah, I mean, I like Dusty. It was a brutal, love Dusty, love Church. It was a brutal run for Alabama to get into that. They played with them in a half. I
don't know that they played. Michigan played terrible. Michigan played terrible against Bama. Terrible.
Bama shot it was very similar to.
Can I ask you this too? Sure. I think I saw a clip of Nate Oates blaming the loss.
It's a misconstrued system. It's a misconstrued quote. Absolutely.
I watched the quote.
In the paragraph, he's listing out, we got to get bigger, we got to get stronger, got to get better defensively. And then he's going, if we would have had Bediako, we thought we might have had him. He makes a difference, this and that. It's like it's a paragraph answer with a throwaway line, a paragraph answer of a throwaway line. He did not blame Bediako for having that.
It's directly blamed that he couldn't take an NBA play.
He absolutely did not blame that it was Bediako.
Can we pull that up too? I'm putting our
absolutely did not. You got Riggs reaching for that one, and the New York Post, probably Zachy the Rat, trying to get his columns up because St. John's is out, and he's got nothing to do now till November. So that's what they're doing. They're stretching the truth. It's reaching.
I think he said it.
It was not Zachy the Rat that wrote that article.
Who's Zachy the Rat? What?
You don't know Zachy the Rat, Brandon? Come on.
How many enemies can he have?
Look, yeah,
it was not Zachy the Rat. It was Ryan Dunleavy.
Can I ask a question, Rico? And I'm going to try to phrase this as nicely as possible. You hate the alumni of Arizona. You're rooting for Michigan, even though the alumni of Arizona that you hate was just doing something by putting Nadeau on a show that was ordered by the Michigan guy.
I think
that's not true.
That's not true.
We have no proof of that because there is another guy, Pledge Master Dan, who likes to be. I don't do those parlor tricks generally.
Fine. No. Wait a second.
And Brandon, you were the one who alerted it with an NBA draft show when Dave was enjoying the boats a little bit more than the day-to-day, which is fine, but I don't think Dave really had his hands in that.
Okay.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Okay,
but an NBA draft show. There was a big gotcha. They're going to bring somebody in.
Oh, I had nothing to do with that.
Fine.
Because you're a leader. You're a leader. You don't walk around with shorts down around your gonads, looking like you're better than everybody with your boat shoes. You don't do that. So,
yeah, Brandon.
It's true.
You've worn some tight pants, but that's fashionable.
I went to Italy. That's what they were wearing in Italy. Everyone was wearing the tight jeans.
Exactly. And you still got your hair. Shout out Nutrafol, the best in the business. Like this guy's bold as a cue ball, thinks he's better than everybody. It's Dave, you're Massachusetts. That's a big Massachusetts thing. Don't think you're better than me. Same with me.
Prep school face. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Don't think you're better than me.
Can we get the quote from Nate Oates, please? I'm pretty sure, though. I don't want to go back. I'm pretty sure he did blame that.
He's not blaming it solely. He's not blaming it solely.
Nate Oates, we know we got to get bigger. We saw the opportunity to bring some size on after Nnaji was declared ineligible. Most people, including ourselves, thought Bediako would be eligible. We had one judge who thought so. He definitely would have helped the situation with the rebound. Would have gotten out rebound at 13 had we been able to play. He's blaming it on the judicial system.
That is kind of
that portion. The main. He didn't lead. He didn't come in there being like, damn the judge, we need Bediako.
But Bediako was a while ago. He shouldn't be bringing him
He's got to get better.
Who's the field of 68? What account is that? Is that gum on your shoe?
That's Goodman.
Oh, another loser. That guy's a loser. So I'm on Bosco's side on that one. I am. What about now? Here's another thing. We're gonna Mick Cronin on in a bit. I'm excited to talk to Mick Cronin. And I know he's gonna be an Izzo guy. They all stick together. Tom Izzo. They like to say, and I've seen some accounts. Maybe Goodman, January, February, Izzo. Should he be in prison for saying that when it's clearly January, February, UConn?
No, I think that's Johnny No Jump Shots who says that, not Goodman, for the record. But
Johnny No Jump Shots.
We can't keep up with your
Zachy the Rat's cousin.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, did you see Fanta after? And I felt bad for Fanta. He was in a box, and you maybe jumped on this, and we love Johnny Fanta, but after the Duke UConn game, after the UConn shot, he had to promote the NBA because he was doing it.
Oh, he's NBA Johnny, yeah.
NBA Johnny. So he made a video, but before he could talk about the game, the UConn shot, he had to promo being in San Antonio for Wemby, and he knew it was killing him. Like, he couldn't get right into the college game. NBA Johnny was stuck.
Yeah, he's got a lot of balls in the air. That's what happens. But Izzo, all right, Izzo. I think Izzo should get a ton of credit in the sense that his teams always seem to be playing better at the end of the year. The Champions Classic. I think Michigan State, I'm actually pretty sure, I'm sure your rat behind the desk will research it, but I'm pretty sure that Michigan State has the worst record in the Champions Classic. I think they take a lot of non-conference losses, but at the end of the year, he's got him as a 7 seed, and they're knocking on the door for the Final Four. He's got him as a 5. They're knocking on the door for the Final Four. It doesn't always seem like he has the lights-out freshman 5-star. He keeps his guys around. Like, he makes applesauce out of nothing.
I don't know if I agree with that. He's a great player.
It seems like he gets his teams better as they go.
And like
the fact to reach a Final Four is really hard. He does it every 4 years. Now, if you've been on the doorstep that many times for 25 years, he's got to have more than one title. And he won the first title way early. So, I'm in the middle.
But the thing with this year, I didn't understand. They were pretty much the same the entire year. Like, they were a good team.
They were good, yeah.
And like, they got bounced in the Big Ten tournament. Everyone was picking them for the Final Four.
I did as well. Yeah, I fell for it.
And they just played the same. Like, they were a Sweet 16 team, and that's exactly where they landed.
I thought they had a decent draw because Duke was banged up. And to be honest, UConn, as great as they are and pulling out these wins, you can't lie that their offense has not been phenomenal. It really has.
UConn in March is a different animal.
Yeah, which is amazing too. That Danny Hurley, you said you think Danny Hurley's the best coach in the sport?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So do you think it's absolutely certifiably insane to think that a guy who comes from a coaching tree like this and grew up with a clipboard in his bed as a 4-year-old would ever stay on Staten Island at Wagner College in the New York City area because he doesn't want to leave the area? A pronounced journalist like Woj.
Nobody cares about your grudges.
Oldest takes on the planet.
I thought Woj already apologized to you.
He fake apologized.
He's not even a reporter anymore.
He should get dragged way more.
We're talking about the Final Four. You're just doing your stupid grudge thing.
This guy thought he was Brandon. You go to sleep during the Mountain West. You couldn't name a team past the Mississippi line. Don't get mad at me. We're talking.
You already went up the Woj.
Break down
what are you talking about?
Quarterbacks in the Sun Belt.
What are you talking about?
Equal opportunity.
Do the Final Four.
Season. What do you want me to say? It's an insane take that Woj thought.
Look, he's about to insult my dead dad right now.
Born to coach.
You're slobbering.
Is going to stay in the New York City area. That is insane. He should be dragged every day. I get dragged. He should get dragged.
We have a Final Four. Why are you talking about something that happened in your DMs 20 years ago?
Woj already apologized. Didn't you ambush him at Madison Square Garden?
Yeah, and then he fake apologized. It is what it is. Hurley's
apologize.
It's a great Final Four.
Hey!
It's a great Final Four. And the thing I'll say, too, is if you've been paying attention to college basketball every night, instead of dumpster diving and ranking 5 favorite Cosby episode shows or going on the monorail, it's been an unbelievable, sorry, T-Bob, it's been an unbelievable college basketball season, and we deserve this Final Four. Since the start, unbelievable freshmen, unbelievable games, coaches acting like whack jobs. This is like a season of television that has been like great episode, great episode. And now we got the Final Four as a culmination of a finale. God bless it. This is unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
But that's good.
Hell yeah.
That's good.
Hell yeah,
That's
Rico.
good
Gas
Final
me up.
Four
That was
talk.
good.
Future's still
We
alive.
got there.
Michigan. I have Michigan.
Now let's talk Will Wade.
Why do we have to stop the Final Four talk to talk about Woj? I don't
Right.
understand.
Well, I am curious what a fake apology. I thought we put this thing to bed. What's a fake apology?
He, on Pardon My Take, his exact quote was, "I'm sorry." What did he say? I'm sorry he got mad or something. He never really apologized.
He did it on Pardon My
That's a
Take.
fake apology.
It is
That's
a fake apology.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fake apology.
I think he was in studio.
He was in studio. He had a little smug look on his face. And then he goes to St. Bonnie's and runs the legendary coach out of town.
Yeah, he
As a
nuked St. Bonnie's. That's
He did.
fair.
And then he locked himself in the office when people were like, hey, we need a comment. He's like, not me.
Final four, though. Going to be
I
awesome.
could bet on I'm sports, horses. It's all great. If I could bet on people, I'd be undefeated.
Rico Bosco.
line.
Rico,
Great
okay, no, we're
line.
ending on that.
You hate
It's a
Fanta?
great line. Stock up, stock down. Coming up next. You're the man, Rico. Thank you so much, brother.
That's a great
Make Men of
line.
Honor's not lasting more than
Great
15
line.
minutes.
That's a great line to walk out.
I don't think it's accurate.
It doesn't need to be.
Never is.
All right, guys, so here's what we got. We got Mick Cronin coming up. We still got stock up, stock down. We got a quick little filler segment here, and we've got some tapas, okay? Mets fans already booing Bo Bichette. We'll maybe touch on that. There's a
Really?
There's a Fernandez.
3 games in.
That's New York for you.
Frank called the season over, top the first inning of game 1, and you're already
We
booing
won that
Bo.
game 1. But
I know. You scored like 5.
But
Down 2 games? You're 2-1, right?
2-1, yeah.
What's the problem?
Bo Bichette's 1 for 14 with 8 strikeouts, I believe, leads the league in strikeouts. He's been awful. He's been awful. At
Our
third
third
base.
baseman's been a disgrace.
He's
And
also short.
he doesn't have a hit yet. And
Yeah.
Bregman, I don't know what he's done. I listen. You got a compadre now. We start complaining about baseball 3 games in. Suddenly, I feel you because I've been watching it, and my third baseman so far stinks from the
And
Brewers.
Bo Bichette, his throws to first base are like he's had like 6 of them that aren't even close. But he's been awful, but I am confident he's going to be fine. It's growing pains.
But the
First
other
year
free
in
agent
New
guy,
City.
Luis Robert.
Luis Robert's been awesome. We got him in a trade, not a free agent
excuse.
sign.
I'm sorry.
Luis,
The other acquisition.
That's a very big.
The other acquisition.
Yeah, Luis Robert's been
Here it
awesome.
is, Brandon. Here it is.
The booing Bo Bichette.
But like that's New York.
They were 2 on. 7th inning. This is a
guys
good
are
moment.
That is New
It
York.
happens with the Yankees. Happens with the Red Sox. Happens
You
with the
guys don't
Phillies.
deserve success.
Yes, we do.
No,
All
you
right,
don't.
all right. Hold on, though.
Yes.
Because this was just supposed to be like a throwaway. But okay, Liam, the Golden Knights, right here on the edge of the playoffs, in the playoffs as it stands right now, make a not unprecedented but pretty wild move, firing their head coach, bringing in Tortorella. You're a resident Knights guy, one of our resident Puck guys. What's going on in Vegas? Hockey Town, Vegas.
Yeah, people forget I've been with the Golden Knights since well before the inception, and Brandon Walker will never understand anything about the Knights. It's okay, Brandon just doesn't get it.
You don't get it.
It's a cutthroat organization that makes bold on-the-fly moves. Tortorella is hired as the fixer per se. It's not. He doesn't have a contract guaranteed next season. It's just for the remaining.
They're
8
bringing
games.
him in
And
literally just
it's
for the
crazy.
playoffs.
Yes, an outside voice to.
You're in a playoff spot?
Yeah, they're in a playoff spot. They have spent the league leading time and time trailing. They've been a terrible team. They get down every game 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. I've watched the same game 40 straight games. Cassidy's voice needed to get out of there. Elliot Friedman reported on multiple occasions that Cassidy's voice just wasn't getting through and that there was friction with players after the Edmonton series last postseason. I don't really know what else I'm supposed to say about this other than this is what Vegas does. This is what this organization does.
It's almost exactly what the Nuggets did, right? Fire Malone right for the play. And what did they end up pushing the Thunder to 7?
Yes, correct.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe Tortorella can squeeze a little blood out of this.
I mean, there's no they have a top 4 most talented roster in the league. They're paying guys a lot of money. The front office is almost kind of trying to save face here because they've actually missed on their last 4 trades. I could full out Meek Mets this stuff, but I won't. The good thing is the format is so bad as Brandon Walker yawns about hockey when he claims to try and love hockey.
I was yawning about you, not hockey.
Yeah, that's okay. A fair game player. I do that all the time when you do your college football right. So as we go on, the playoff format is so easy for the Pacific side because it's a joke and the Pacific stinks, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that was the.
What about?
You might have just
Can I
lost your spot.
complain about something?
Yeah.
The Frozen Four. They're playing these games in like these in Albany. There's no atmosphere. There's nobody at the game. I saw Biz talking about it. You got to play these games at the home rinks. You got to let the crowds, the local crowds go. Yost is an electric, the best hockey barn, probably pro or college in the country. Get the crowds there. The NCAA, they screwed this one up. Nobody wants an empty arena with no teams there. If you have fans like women's basketball, you got to play them where you know the fans are going to go early. You want the Final Four somewhere, Vegas, fine, even though there's no teams. But that's crazy. You got to have atmosphere at these games.
Yeah, I mean, like Denver got to play in Loveland, Colorado. It's crazy. And they're not even like a 1C. It's crazy that Michigan had to go to Albany. Why aren't they at least more local?
Yeah. Oh, look,
It doesn't have to be in Ann Arbor, but yeah.
Please take control.
Yeah. Frozen Four talk, Brandon. It's that time of year. You know.
Well, you said we're going to bounce
Brandon
around until
hates
Mick Cronin
hockey.
was on.
Yeah, I agree. And now the bouncing's done. Mick Cronin coming up next. Talk to him about trying to fix UCLA, what he would have done in yesterday's games.
Oh,
a lot
you
to
said
get
fix
to.
UCLA there. That's a shot.
Yeah, they're in pretty good shape.
Brandon does not deserve to be a Blackhawks fan.
Yep.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. Right now, it is my pleasure to welcome on one of the best voices we got in college basketball. That's UCLA head coach Mick Cronin. Coach Cronin, what's going on, man? Thank you for waking up with us this morning.
Good morning from sunny LA. How you guys doing?
Hell yeah, man. I know. Look, I know it's early. We're doing great, man. Treated to one of the best finishes that we've ever seen. In March.
Wow.
I mean, absolutely. So I guess that's where I want to start, right? Is take us through that final sequence from a head coach perspective, because we're all playing like this is what I would have done. This is what should have been done. You have a much better opinion in that regard. What was your analysis of how that all went down at the end?
Well, obviously, you could replay a million things. And, I was watching. There's so many cuts, right? The one cutaway was the Coach Shire. And he saw both the UConn guys go up at Caden Boozer. And you could see he was telling them to throw it long. Now, hindsight says just hold the ball. Just hold the ball and get fouled. What I would say is there was no timeout before the situation, before the free throws. Mm-hmm. So he got fouled. I can't remember who went to the line, but somebody went for the line for UConn. And what's really wild is how it all happened. If he makes both, I think this plays out differently. They probably foul immediately. They don't go for the steal. But if there's a timeout right there, you at least you can tell your guys, look, we have one timeout. If you get in any type of trouble, just cover it up and hold the ball. But I can tell you, like, that may not have mattered. It just because he saw the guy wide open. Look, sometimes things just happen that are just unexplainable. And college basketball in this tournament in March, and look, pros do crazy things. And it wasn't a crazy thing to make the pass. Both the UConn kids did a great job. Look, you have to gamble and go for the steal. Now, if they don't get it, Dan Hurley's getting killed. What are you guys saying? You got it. Why didn't they foul? Yeah. In the first two traps. So, when it doesn't go your way in coaching, you get destroyed. When it goes your way, nobody brings up the fact that, boy, what a gamble that they didn't foul in that situation right away in the first trap.
Well, you mentioned the word unexplainable, college basketball. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit on this one. Because when I heard Mick Cronin was going to UCLA, I did a quick, one of these, sideways, he's going to UCLA. There's nobody in the history of Earth, for me, who has seemed like less of a fit for Los Angeles in the soft latte culture they got out there than Mick Cronin. And then you got the Saratoga, born in Cincinnati, and like Cincinnati, you came after Huggins, and there's just that kind of gritty. It does not feel like UCLA to me. It never has felt like UCLA. I know you're in my conference now, the Big Ten, but I look at UCLA and USC and Lee and blah, and I think soft. And that is not what I think of Mick Cronin. How are you? I can't even picture you existing in Los Angeles. How is that working? Can you imagine yourself in LA?
Yeah, but look, Ben Howland was
True.
unbelievably successful. It's funny because obviously, I'm from back east, so everybody's perception of California is so far from the truth of life here. You know, you know how many hardworking people make the economy go here. There would be no agriculture in our country if it wasn't for the people in the fields here. To work in finance, Dave, you know how early you have to get up here?
I didn't even know people worked in finance out there. I thought they were all in Hollywood.
No, you mean you thought they were on Wall Street? Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I thought everybody in LA was in Hollywood. Yeah, New York, you're in Wall Street.
Yeah, no, they're in the Wilshire corridor. I mean, it is hard to make it. The grit and grind of people here is real. It's just, look, we all know what we see on TV, and the weather's awesome, right? And you get this. And look, I'm not sure how old you are, but our Fast Times at Ridgemont High was our reference with my right.
I'm 49.
Spicoli surfing. And then Point Break, right? Patrick Swayze, everybody's just surfing. It's not really how it is. I think one thing I learned here about, I wanted to get Dave, for me, to get where I could get good enough players to win the national championship. And we came close early on in my tenure, and then they put NIL in. So I came on here to try to get you to throw me some scraps, because I know you're giving all your money to Michigan.
Yeah, well, UCLA is getting none. Blutman, you got to get him. You got to get him, who's our UCLA guy, more. But
there he
that's
is, right there,
point.
Coach.
So with NIL, anybody can win it now. You just got to get the right boosters, because any school, and you saw it in football and you see it in college. So anybody can win now.
No question. All it takes is one. I think, you look at Texas Tech decided they wanted to win. Look what they did in football. Look what they've done in men's basketball. Women's softball, they played for the title. They paid a pitcher $1 million. I know she visited. I know, because I met her, because they had me talk to her when she visited UCLA. She was a great basketball player, real nice kid. But, look, all it takes is money now. That's just the truth. Look, Coach Pitino, if Mike Rapoli said, I'm out, Coach Pitino's out. He's retiring.
You need the one big guy.
Yeah, that's just where we're all at.
Another question for you. I feel like you, Hurley, Izzo, who I don't like, Michigan State, naturally not going to like him. What?
I love Coach, but I understand why you can't like Coach Izzo.
Of course not, because it's Sweet 16 Tommy, but and he won't give any respect here to our coach Dusty May. But that's besides. I do like what I think you guys are doing, and I haven't seen. We talked about earlier in the show. You're taking back being able to be tough on the players. You had the press conference, hey, this isn't Little League, dude. We're trying to win. Hurley's going around basically headbutting referees every game. This, to me, is new. This couldn't have happened 5 years ago. I feel like you couldn't swear at a player. And now we get these old school coaches kind of banning me, like, this is how we're doing it. I think it's great. Has something shifted?
No, it's always what shifted is what people decide to cover. And what what the clickbait people want to try to jump on that really need to get a life, man. Let's just be honest. Like, what are we talking about? Look, little Johnny needs to learn how to pay attention and follow orders, okay? And if I tell him 50 straight times the same thing, I'm going to lose my mind if he keeps doing it wrong. Come on, man. But that's just a bad thing. Like, it's not okay not to try hard or not to listen, because look, you're going to lose your job someday, like real quickly. Like, and if you get in like the NBA and you get into a training camp, or they send you to Europe, you think them guys are messing around that are drinking vodka, coaching their team in Europe? They're smoking a cigarette. They're drinking vodka. They're sending your ass home quick. Like, quick, you're gone. Your ass is on the plane calling me. I need a job. Like, you got to teach these guys like accountability, pay attention, because you can't just keep transferring high schools and transferring AAU teams if you don't like how the coach talks to you. You're going to get fired. I mean, that's just I don't know what's all going on with the softness of society. I think you and I are probably on the same side of this one.
Yep. Does NIL help in a way that it's like, well, these kids are getting paid now, whereas before, is that change how you think people perceive yelling? Like for me, if I'm screaming at a kid because I had my guy, I love Michigan, Mara, my big guy, your guy, this guy, I got to send him what's that?
You're welcome.
Yeah, well, I got to send him an invoice for $50,000 because I had Michigan first half line. The shot clock's off, and he took a baseline sky hook with 15 seconds left on the shot clock. Dusty May looked like he was going to rip his head off. So, but I feel I can yell at him now, be like, "What's this guy?" Because everyone's getting paid. These guys are basically pros now. They're pros in college to me.
Yeah, I think. I don't factor the money into how I operate at all. The money for me, only time I think about it is when I'm talking to the guys and trying to explain to them it's going to be gone soon. Like I don't care if you make a couple million, it's gone. First of all, half of it's gone. They have to explain to them taxes. Then they got family, friends, expenses. The biggest expense, women, is going to come into their life. And look, let's just be honest. Like by the time you're 28, like that's not enough. So how to save it, like other than how to try to protect some of it and save some of it, I don't discuss it at all. Now responsibility that you asked for the money. I didn't bring it up, and I'm glad to give it to you. I'm all for the players getting paid, but you're the one that asked for it. So at the beginning, there is a higher level of responsibility. There is. And now, look, you can only give me your best effort, but I expect that. And you asked for the money, so when I'll give it to you. It's not mine, so I don't care. But you gotta, it's somebody's, and there's a level of commitment that comes with it. Okay, so I think coaches are probably a little less tolerant of, hey, give a guy all this time to grow up and learn how to work hard. No, like I want it right away. If you're going to ask for the money, that means you're ready to work your butt off to try to help our team I just want a guy to help himself. Look, chase your own dream, but you're not retiring on this money. And that is the hardest thing to get through to some of these guys, because to them, Dave, you got to understand how much money. I mean, you're 19, somebody gives you $800,000.
Ton.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Like you think you're retiring.
Yeah, ton. Blupman, you got anything for your coach?
I do. So is Brandon Walker if he wants to go first.
Oh, okay. Wow. Look at that. Is he back on the show now?
Yeah, I guess he is. Coach Brandon Walker, #1 college football media personality in the world. With a college basketball question, you played all four of these Final Four teams. What's your read on Michigan, Arizona? Look to me a class above the other two, but I'm also an idiot. So what's your read on the Final Four?
No, I think you're right. Vegas always tells the truth, right? I'm sure it's Michigan, Arizona, and then UConn, Illinois. Both games are really well matched. Whoever wins Michigan, Arizona will be favored in the final. Let's go Michigan, Arizona. That'll probably be they'll play that game second because TV will do that because that's probably the so-called featured game. Matchup of the front lines. Michigan, to me, I've played them both, has more firepower. Now, in fairness to Arizona, we played in November, so it was early, and they had 3 great freshmen, and they're much better players right now than they were in November. But to me, when Michigan takes their time offensively and they don't take early contested threes and they make you defend them, I think they're clearly the best team. And their size is going to pose a problem for what Arizona does to people, which is just punish you at the rim, which is really hard to do against Morez Johnson, Mara, and Luxembourg. So I would, although Arizona can definitely win because they have NBA players. Braden Burries is unbelievable. Pete plays in the NBA. I think Mo Krivas in the middle plays in the NBA, and Karchenkov's going to play in the NBA. So they got players, but I just think Michigan shoots the ball better when it comes down to it. If it comes, okay, somebody's got to make some shots, and you put a gun to my head, I'd go Michigan. The other game, guys, interestingly, these two, Illinois, UConn played in December. And it was a different game. Keaton Vogler wasn't a starting point guard back then. They were playing Petrovic at the point, the guy they paid millions to from Serbia, that they ended up inserting Vogler. They inserted Merkovic. Murkaus became a sixth man. Again, Illinois is a different team when that game than when that game was played. I studied that game trying to figure out how to beat Illinois. And talking to the UConn guys, and it was just a different game. So, again, going to be a great one. I would say that never underestimate. I said this yesterday morning on the show where they were talking about Duke, and I said just don't underestimate UConn's competitive, winning heart and toughness, and that's going to have to carry them through again. Because Illinois has more firepower. They just do. Vogler's a top 10 pick. UConn doesn't have a top 10 pick. They have two. They bring a couple guys making over $1 million off the bench. That tells you how good their bench is. They don't even play Petrovic, the point guard. So their talent level, I would shade to Illinois. But experience in the Final Four with Caravan, I would be scared. Never discount UConn. Yeah, when they have this much talent and this, they're trying, they're never give up. But they are beholden to one thing: Taurus Reed cannot get in foul trouble, or they're toast. There you go. Because he's the separator. Like he may not get drafted, but in the college game, he would get drafted, right? Because he's just such a beast.
Michigan guy.
Yeah. Coach, thank you so much for your time this morning, man. UCLA head coach Mick Cronin, thank you for your
See you at the Belmont, Coach.
I'll see you at the Belmont, Dave. I'll give you a call, buddy.
Yeah, man.
See you guys at the Belmont.
Yeah, see you all at the Belmont.
Thanks for having me.
All right. All right, it's time for Davey Day Trading Global Stock Up, Stock Down. Dave, draft away, first stock up.
A little outside the box, we're going with the New York Police Department, who beats the fire department in the hockey game. Big hockey game, big deal in New York. For the first time in, I believe, over a decade. Massive brawl after the game, 3 minutes. Congratulations, NYPD. I don't know if this was predicted. We've covered this game for the last couple of years, and it's been an absolute blowout. Shout out, Miss Peaches.
Hey, Peaches.
It's been a blowout every single year, so shout out NYPD for pulling the big upset.
There we go. Brandon, what you got?
All right, my stock up, I alluded to it earlier, at PH Clap on Twitter, Patio. We all saw it, Mullins from the I-95 corridor. In the ensuing celebration, my buddy was jumping in elation, completely tore his Achilles. These UConn fans who were so happy about the shot tore his Achilles. His pictures are from the hospital. He's got his foot up like this, but he is smiling. That's what sports are all about, just killing yourself and celebration when your team does something.
Still has his UConn jersey on in the hospital.
Yes.
My stock up, how could it not be the LSU Tigers?
Oh, my God.
They will not be denied. Will Wade, excellent basketball coach, back at LSU.
Possible criminal.
Stock down myself for saying LSU has no money, because in the last 6 months, they paid Lane Kiffin $91 million, a $54 million buyout to Brian Kelly. The reported next year football roster, $40 million. Matt McMahon buyout, $8 million. Will Wade buyout, $3 million. Let's go Tigers. Meek, what do you got?
Mike Trout, stock up, 6 for 13, 2 home runs, 7 walks. Give us one more elite Mike Trout season. It would feel so good watching him play good baseball again.
And that retro Angels logo that they kind of got going. I'm going with Gary Woodland, who has not won on the PGA Tour in about 7 years. Had a tumor, brain surgery, PTSD. Has talked about how difficult this recovery process has been for him and everything. Gets a blowout win on the PGA Tour yesterday. Gary Woodland, great story.
Dave, stock down.
I mean, it's got to be John Shire. I mean, it has to be. No brainer. I mean, it's the clear number. When LeBron came out of the draft, the clear number one. You don't have to say much more. The face, the loss, the 2 years in a row, they tell him to throw it down. John Shire.
My stock down, the San Francisco Giants. They hired a college rah-rah guy who leaves Tennessee, had the most unlikable program in college baseball. He goes to the Giants. They play the Yankees 3 games. They scored 1 run in 3 games. Embarrassing San Francisco Giants.
My stock down, my wallet. I spent a week at Disney with my kids going to theme parks all 7 days in a row. But it was incredible. Shout out to the House of Mouse. Meek, what do you got?
Stock down, Dickie Lovelady, who for some reason was pitching back to Dickie Lovelady pitched back-to-back days in March, lost the game for the Mets yesterday, will probably be DFA'd today. Dickie Lovelady, stock down.
Meek stole mine.
Yours was not Dickie Lovelady.
It was Dickie. He had it in the notes. He texted the group. It was Dickie Lovelady.
What about the fact his name's Dickie Lovelady?
Well, his real name's Richard, but he goes by Dickie.
I would too.
Penisy hate man?
And that's your
Right,
stock
another
down.
stock up.
No, that's it. All right, guys, when we get back.
Michigan, stock up. They're in women's Final Four tonight. They've already clinched men's hoop. Frozen 4. No team has ever had 2, never mind 3. So we need an upset. Stock up the Block M.
There it is, guys. All right, coming up next, we'll close out the show. Don't go anywhere. We're going to update the college basketball competition that we were having between every show.
Madison Booker going to smoke Michigan.
Kevin, y'all wrapping up a very fun Monday of Wake Up Barstool here. And we've been having an in-house competition between every single show where we had all of the college basketball teams. You had to draft a squad of various tiers. You came up with a scoring system. Let's see who is winning as we head into the Final Four. Oh, wow. Look at that, guys. Monday doing very well for yourselves.
So wait a second. The one that took all the leftovers is going to end up winning?
It's a fascinating commentary on the paradox of choice, isn't it, Brandon?
Who are the idiots on the Wednesday show that has nobody in the Final Four?
I don't know. I'm on Monday.
No.
We got Michigan.
No, Brandon, very much a part of the Wednesday show.
Wait. We could still win.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
All that matters is a champion now?
Well, no, I think Friday.
Champion 10 points. No, so we can't catch Friday.
Because, Friday's going to get at least 1 win.
Yeah.
Well, they got 34 points already.
Wait,
right, and they're going to get, they have a guaranteed win.
It's like, yep.
But
I
see what you're saying.
Points for runner-up, though.
What can I say, guys? Friday, me, Dana Beers, and Michael Kadick, Megan making money, the undisputed college basketball experts at this company.
Yeah. I could care less.
Yeah.
Couldn't care less.
Yeah, we got the Wolverines in. We're fine.
I will say, just got text maybe the suite. Prima, they said 25-yard line. Okay, that's good. I'm just looking at suites. The suite I thought I had, now they sold. Now I got to look at another suite.
They sold your suite out from under you?
They bumped you out.
I'm dealing with. Listen, sweet games. I thought I had it reserved there. I think.
Are you not as rich as you think you are?
No, they just heard Mutt might be there.
Oh no.
Justin Verlander pitching for the Tigers tonight in 2026. That's very cool.
And that's our final word. That's our final word.
That's a cool thing to say.
I don't even want to say anything.
Hopefully next week at this time we'll be preparing Michigan National Championship pregame show.
Yep, that's right, Brandon. You ready? You ready to do that show next week?
I've been here before. You can't scare me with a Michigan national title.
Hell yeah.
I hope so.
All right, guys. Dave, thank you so much. Leah, Meek, you as well. Brandon, you as well. We love you all. We'll be back tomorrow with some more.
Finding suites for your teams and championships ain't easy work.
So I should just buy my UCLA national championship football suite now.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get on it, yeah.